Hey everyone, welcome to the Streampreneurs Podcast, episode number 3. We're rolling. All right, what up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Streampreneurs Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey Hardin, and I have to say that I'm very excited to introduce to you guys an awesome streamer who I've been watching close to 3 weeks now. He goes by the name of Protunic. And what I like about this guy is that he really takes pride in his streams by interacting with his chat and providing the best content for them to enjoy and interact with. The main game that he plays is Street Fighter V, and he's definitely not an easy person to beat. So let me introduce to you my man Protunic. Pro, dude, how you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Thanks for having me. It's a real honor to be here.
I appreciate it. I mean, thanks again for taking the time out just to join the stream, join the Streampreneurs Podcast. I'm pretty sure, those who listen are in for, an awesome treat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is I think it was my first one doing it, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, for real? And
yeah.
It's interesting because you're from, I know you say you're originally from Cali, but, you live in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's a big change. I actually moved all over because not all over, but a few different states. So I moved I'm originally from California, but then I moved to North Carolina. My family moved there. And then I hated that state. So it wasn't my style, man. So I just moved to, I visited Tennessee here with a friend, actually. We went to Nashville because it was Music City, and we watched some concert there. And actually, after that, I just fell in love with the city and decided to move here. So
that's pretty cool because it's so fun. Like the last dude I interviewed, he's from Tennessee, so
oh yeah.
So Tennessee is really dominating my podcast right now.
Tennessee is cool, man. It's a good state. It's it's got the city if you like that, and then if you like country music, it's big on that too. I hated country music for the longest time, but being here actually it kind of grew on me.
Dude, I'm not a big fan of country music. Like my mom, she's so into it. But me, dude, it's when I listen to it, I just kind of just cringe, I don't know, that's just not me.
It depends, because some of it's actually oh yeah, I'm from the South, kind of that whole thing. And but some of it, country nowadays, it sounds more poppy than it sounds like pop music more than anything. It's not like the old days where it was kind of real hillbilly stuff. You know what I mean? So some songs. I wouldn't say I would go see a concert or anything, but some songs are good.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are liking that nowadays, the popish type country music. I mean, probably the newer generation, younger people.
Yeah, the newer generation doesn't care. But the older, you get to hear all the time, oh, country's not what it used to be. So, and it's true, it's not, but I like it. I like all kinds of music. So,
yeah, the person who, what's his name, Luke Bryan. I know he's more on the popish side. And when I listen to him, I'm I can get down with this, but
yeah.
Other people just talk about their Ford pickups and
yeah. Well, that's all it is. If you listen to it, some songs are cool, but what it is mostly now is it's almost country's kind of picked up on a little bit of hip hop. It's a girl in these short shorts with cowboy boots and a red pickup. And dance for me, girl. That's what it is, man. So,
every single song,
and then even some country songs are kind of mixing it up with some hip hop artists. I think I know Nelly did a song with I forget who it was with, but Nelly did a song with a country singer. So back in the day. So.
Okay. Back in the day, I was
yeah. It was the early 2000s. No, yeah, early 2000. I think it was. I don't know if it was called Over and Over Again or something. It was a Nelly and someone else. So
Over.
It had kind of it was a mix. Yeah, I think you heard it before. I know some people heard it before. It's an old song though.
Yeah, I think I did hear that Over and Over.
Yeah.
But
I would sing it to you, but I don't want things to get weird.
Yeah, dude. The crazy thing, people who's listening to this right now, they're okay, what is this? Is this talking about music? Are you talking about video games? Jeffrey Pro, what are y'all doing? I'm okay, all right, we get back on topic.
Oh yeah.
So,
no, it's all good. Yeah.
So So okay, all right. So usually, for the people that's listen to this, like at the beginning, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I can't even like think right now because the whole country music thing just kind of like just.
I got in your brain. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, so you at the beginning, I like to talk about where gaming began for you. Like what was like the the first game that you played that really just kind of like just set off for you, or the console that basically just set, got you.
Yeah, that got me into video games.
Yeah.
I think it's the almost probably maybe the same as everybody. I still remember the day that I got into video games. I'll never forget it. I remember seeing I forgot what store it was, but I was at a store and I was like I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I saw like a Super Nintendo just sitting there. It wasn't where it was supposed to be, and it had the Super Mario World picture on it. Like it was like I think the SNES came with that game, and I told my dad. I still remember. I was like, "I want this, Dad," and he's like, "Okay, I'll get it for you later on." And like I think about like a couple weeks later, he got it for me as a surprise. And I still remember sitting on his lap as a kid. He was setting it up for me, and he's teaching me how to play the controller. He's still figuring it out himself because he didn't know how to do that. And he got me Super Mario Brothers. And this game, I don't know if a lot of people remember this game. It was a game called Crash Dummies for the SNES. So that's the first time I played video games when I was like 4 years old, playing Super Mario Brothers and that game. And then Donkey Kong Country and all that came on later on. But yeah, that was the first time.
Oh, so it was Super Mario World that really got you into it, or?
Yeah, Super Mario World, man. I was into that like hardcore. So.
Man, dude, I can't tell you how many times or yeah, how much time I put into Super Mario World because I mean, dude, it's such a good game. In Donkey Kong Country, like playing like Donkey Kong Country 2 and.
Oh man, like I still remember seeing in Toys R Us that like how big it was back in the day. Like I even had for the Game Boy, I had Donkey Kong Land, which was like pretty much Donkey Kong Country for the original Game Boy. So I have to say that probably Donkey Kong was more my favorite than Mario because the just games were too good, man.
Really, yeah. Man, Donkey Kong, man, that's a hard statement, man. Donkey Kong better than Mario, man.
Yeah, Donkey Kong, man, the original freaking villain, man.
Dude, that is true. Damn.
Yeah.
Like, cause I played like Donkey Kong Country, the first one. I was like, okay, this is all right. But then when I went to Donkey Kong Country 2, I thought like, man, this game is, so like revolutionary because I mean, just like what they put in there and how hard the game was. Like, even to this day, I still can't beat that game. Like,
you can't beat it.
Yeah, dude. Like,
it took me a few years. Yeah, it took me a little while, man. So it was good. And like three was good too. It was a little different from because you don't play as Diddy Kong or Donkey Kong in 3. You got this. I think you play as Dixie Kong, the one you played in Donkey Kong Country 2, and Baby Kong. I don't remember that. I know it all, man. Don't ask me how I know. I just know.
Dude, like how's that Baby Kong? Cause I actually looked up Donkey Kong Country 3 not too long ago on YouTube. I'm like that's not a baby.
It's not I mean, it's dressed like a baby, but it's like plays like an adult,
But dude, I can't get into that game because like when I watched it, I was like, man, this game looks totally different from how Donkey Kong Country 2 was. I felt like when I was watching it, I feel like the creators got really lazy with that game compared to the second. Maybe it's just me. Like I just saw it, I was like, I don't know. I don't do that.
Yeah, it was different. It was a little different. Like it really went. It was still a Donkey Kong game, but like the original, the original characters weren't in it. I think probably the original villain that was in it was King K. Rool. That crocodile one. Yeah, it's the only original one that was in it. Everything else was different. So.
So I used to watch the cartoon they used to come on like back in the day. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the animated one. The I guess it was like computer almost. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3D.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good, man. If you never would have mentioned that, I probably would never remember that. That was a good show.
Yeah, it really was, man. All right, so so like going back to I've been talking about gaming, just kind of just going everywhere, but that's what I like doing stuff like this. So how did you come across Twitch? I mean, like how?
Well, so I thought YouTube was the only thing for gaming at maybe like a couple of years ago. I think it was like 2015 when I actually got knew about Twitch because my roommate at the time because he knew how much I played video games, and he's like, why don't you just stream? And I was like, what is that? And he's like, you've seen those people that play video games and stuff like that, and they have a camera and everything. And I was like, I thought that was all pre-recorded, I thought it was just YouTube stuff. And he's like, just go to Twitch TV. And I was like, okay. So I checked it out, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, people can actually live stream them playing video games. And I saw them. Like, I thought it was really cool how you can chat with someone, because it made me feel like, wow, like I saw them as like these famous people, come almost like they're on TV, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And every time I typed to them and they would respond, I was like, wow, like a famous person recognized me. So that feeling that I got, I really remember that, and that's what I want to do with my viewers, to make them feel welcomed and stuff like that. So they can have that feeling that they're recognized and be as part of as much as the stream as I am. So,
and that's a good thing about it too, because it's definitely around like 2015-ish when I think that's when like the wave of people started really coming to Twitch. I mean, I think that's around the time I started finding out about Twitch as well, and I started seeing people just. At first, I thought Twitch was just solely for speed running. People just go on Twitch and they just speed run video games. And then it wasn't until later on I started like just searching around. I'm like, oh wow, like people come in here and play, just do casual plays, and they have an audience, like a decent sized audience. I'm like, wow, like it's interesting that people will just come and just watch you just play a game that they enjoy playing is also. And
yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Speed runs are hard. It's not easy.
That's really not. Like, I was trying to speed run Super Mario RPG, and I'm still kind of
for the SNES.
Yeah, for the SNES.
Oh man, yeah, that was a good game. That was back in the day.
Yeah, dude. I didn't know about the game until it wasn't until we finally got like a computer and we started downloading emulators and ROMs.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't know nothing about Super Mario RPG. It was just like, I'm like, whoa, what is this game? I know about Super Mario World, Yoshi Island 2, but I didn't know nothing about that game. And it's still by far like one of my favorite like MMORPG games out there.
Yeah, it was different. So you played on the PC?
Oh no, I actually went out and bought the game for the SNES, and then
okay,
and then have it for like I downloaded it on my Wii as well. But,
I got rid of my SNES back in the day, man. I don't know why. Like, I think at the time I really needed money, but this was when I was like a kid. Like, I think I wanted to buy something else, and now like I forever regret that decision. I sold all those games. Like, that was the dumbest thing I could do.
Dude, I did the exact same thing. I was trying to get a GameCube, and I sold my NES. I sold my Sega, and
you know what? As a matter of fact, that's what I was trying to get, a GameCube. Yeah. I was like 11 years old when I sold all that stuff. So sad, man. Like, I mean, I guess you could buy them now again, you know what I mean? But like, the thing is, those were my original copies. Like those, like I should have, this shit's vinyl, man.
It's like,
oh, sorry. Can I curse here? Sorry.
No, that's cool.
Okay.
No, not that much, but it's cool.
Yeah. I'm not going to.
But I mean, yeah, it's like, you basically just gave away something that pretty much defined and built you up. It's like your sister was like, dude, we made you. We made you who you are today. Like, you just gonna get rid of us. Like, but anyways, but yeah, like when you said about trying to interact with your chat and basically just make them feel welcome. I mean, I feel like that's what a lot of people need to do today, especially when it comes to like just streaming in general, because I know like with me, when it comes to podcasts and trying to find people to interview, it's really hard because I have to basically like just put myself out there like, hey, I'm doing this. I don't know whether the person is gonna respond back like, either they're gonna see my message because their chat is moving so fast, or it's just like when someone finally like just sees you, it gives you like a dopamine effect. Like it's like a reward system. Like, hey, they know this.
Right. Yeah. The thing with Twitch is it takes a little while because like, but it also differs from people. Like, some people just pick up really quick, and then some people it takes them a while. You know what I mean? I've known people that they picked up in a matter of like a couple months, and I've been doing this for since maybe at the end of 2016. And yeah, it's growing, but like some people just blow up, you know what I mean? They get like 100 plus viewers in like the first couple months, and then some people it takes them a few more months or a couple more years. So it just depends on sometimes I feel maybe it might be the luck of the draw, but you never know. With Twitch, it's really hard to pinpoint what it could be, you know what I mean? So I would say people not to get discouraged, because I think it's consistency is the biggest thing. And I think if you stay consistent, eventually you have no room but to, no choice but to grow. So.
Yeah, I agree. And you say you started at the end of 2016. So like, how was it like when you first started your stream? Just
it was fun. Like I already knew how it was to be, because I've noticed that with a lot of streamers, you could tell they're new and they have the struggle of maybe trying to figure out what to say. And because like obviously when you get no viewers, it's like how do I talk to myself or something like that, and with me, I just played the game, and whatever came to my mind I said, so it was in I remember, actually I do have a story about the very first time I was like this. I think it was like maybe my third day of streaming, and the only one watching was one of my friends, and I got hosted by someone, but I didn't know I got hosted because it didn't let me know the notification. I just saw a bunch of people spamming my chat, just saying raid, and I was like, what is this? And I'm looking, I deleted that VOD, but I was like, yeah, I deleted that VOD. I don't have it, but at least you guys can get an image, because that was so embarrassing. Because I'm over here on live Twitch TV, and I'm hearing like, what are these bots? Are these hackers? Like, who the hell's hacking me? And everybody, and I couldn't read the chat because I was trying to play the game, and it was going so fast. I had like 300 plus viewers at one time, because it went from 2 viewers to 300 in a matter of seconds.
Oh wow!
And yeah, so it caught me by surprise, and I didn't know someone hosted me, and then I kind of looked like an idiot.
So you don't know who hosted you?
Yeah, it was. I think it was Brian F. He's a top streamer at the time, but I didn't know. I didn't know it was him, because, like I said, I couldn't read the chat because it was going so fast.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I was trying to play the game at the same time, so me multitasking over here was kind of hard for me at the beginning. So,
and that's actually pretty good though, 300. So so obviously on that day, that was probably like, I guess like the shift in your streams a little bit, because usually when someone that high hosts you like 300 plus views, then people just start just following you just out of generosity. And
yeah, it gets you noticed, you know what I mean? Because I was way at the bottom of the list, no, why would you watch me if you have the people with 300 plus viewers, they're more popular than me. But when he hosted me, it kind of put some light onto me. Then that's where I got that's where it kickstarted a lot of my followers from too. So that was really good, really nice of him.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I feel like when it comes to Twitch, that's like from me, like just being on Twitch and just interacting with people, I feel like in order to become a success, I think it's part of being consistent at the same time of trying to you also have to interact with other people on the stream too, like stuff out there. That way, like for you, for instance, like when you're streaming, if they know you, like, oh hey, let's host Protunic, he's a cool dude, and it's like boom.
Yeah, because I've noticed that with streaming is like, obviously you're streaming, you're broadcasting this live to people, so it makes sense to interact with someone. If you didn't, then you wouldn't be streaming, right? So that's part of it. It's playing games and interacting with someone. And I've gone to streams where people don't really interact. They kind of don't say anything, and it's just like,
I know.
what's the point? I mean, I could just probably just play the game you're playing or something, or go somewhere else. So I think it's important to make, like I said earlier, to make people feel welcome and as part as much as the stream as possible, because that's what they're there for. They're there to watch you. So
yeah, that's actually a good point, especially for those streamers who you know what, to be honest, I never understood that. Especially I see it more in like World of Warcraft and League of Legends types of games, where people, they just have so many people watching them. And I mean, I can understand if you have so many people in your chat, it's so fast.
But at one point,
Oh, go ahead.
When it gets to that point, sorry. Yeah, no, when it gets to that point, I think it doesn't matter anymore because you're probably gonna have to like pinpoint like just certain messages or something and just do your thing because there's no way you'll be able to catch up with, just thousands of people talking. So at that point, I think it's good just to just be yourself and continue mission with the show,
Yeah, that's definitely true. And I mean, I was about to say something else. Oh yeah, like because I know like to also have like a good stream. It's good for your chat to be interacting with those that's in the chat as well. Like they're talking to one, amongst each other, then they have like a conversation going on. And then you read it like, oh, what y'all talking about? It's like,
yeah,
because sometimes the chat would just go some other direction, and it just, I don't know, it's just fun.
And I think your chat kind of reflects how you are as a streamer. As for example, if you're a really negative person, your communities. I honestly, me personally, this might go a little bit deep, but I kind of believe in almost like the law of attraction kind of thing. Like you really much attract what you portray out. So if you're kind of negative, I kind of feel like you probably get like a talk to the community because it's kind of like you're almost an influence. You say if he says this stuff, it's okay. So let me talk crap. You know what I mean? So I think it's I do get salty and I do about the game, but I try to keep it as funny and as positive as I possibly can. Because if you get negative viewers, then they might disrespect someone else, and that's not what I want my community to be. I want everybody to have fun and respect each other because that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny because when I be watching your stream and like just say you lose a game and you do get salty, you show it, but like you said, like you don't try to curse out or just
I don't
or something.
I kind of try to do it in a funny way as possible and keep the negativity positive, if that makes sense. The complaining positive rather than me, like because I've known some streamers that just get mad and then they ban people out of anger, and I would never do that. But I try to keep it as as funny as I possibly can because that's how I am. So.
Yeah, it's interesting too because, like you said, the way you act, your personality. That's you basically going to attract the same amount of people or the same type of people who kind of has the same personality as you do. It's so funny because like just for those streamers who do not talk, there have been times where I went to someone's stream who has like 120 viewers. But the chat will not say nothing. I'm like, oh, okay, they reflecting off of this person. He doesn't.
Yeah, because he's concentrated in the game, and I've noticed that sometimes too. Sometimes I get really into a match and I don't see anybody talking because they're just as concentrated as I am.
Yeah. I be into it. Like you be like when you be playing, I was like, man, like come on, bro, you got this.
Yeah. I try to also, but then I realize, I'm using Ryu. Okay, I have limited options here. And, it's a hard character to use, man, really hard, but it's not impossible. So I try to make I try to make it work as best as I can.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into that to Street Fighter. So. So like from watching your streams, I know like the main game you play is obviously Street Fighter 5, and for those who are not familiar with Street Fighter, it's a fighting game that's solely dependent on making combos and knowing how to play your character and also knowing how your opponent plays their character too. But it's just not your ordinary fighting game. It's one of the main factors that makes this game so hard is the input controls. I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah.
And so, what really got you hooked into Street Fighter? Like, when did this all start?
Well, I've always been into Street Fighter since I was very little. The very first time I've ever saw Street Fighter was I think I was maybe like 6 years old, and I saw my cousin playing Street Fighter 2 for the Sega Genesis. And at the time, I already had a Super Nintendo. So I asked my dad if he could go buy this game, and then so I've been playing Street Fighter. That's when I played Street Fighter 2 as a kid, but I never played it competitively because I would say Street Fighter 5 is my very first real Street Fighter because I never played it competitively or anything before. It was always casual. I had Street Fighter 4. I played Third Strike on the arcades and stuff like that, but never like that until Street Fighter 5 came out. And that's when I started saying, okay, like this. I want to be the best I possibly can at this game. And the only character that always caught my eye was Ryu. So that's why I choose Ryu because He's like the cover boy of Street Fighter,
He's like the mascot, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, have you tried getting into tournaments or like just?
Yeah. I've what's like today on my stream. There's an online tournament every Sunday. That A4 Andre hosts, and I always do those. I have gone to tournaments here in Tennessee, but it's the tournaments here are the FGC, the fighting game community, isn't as big here as it is like in somewhere else like California or New York or something like that. California has Wednesday night fights every Wednesday.
Oh wow.
And then New York has NLBC every Wednesday as well. That they're streamed all the time on Twitch. But we have Coom Team Tennessee here that comes every year. So I actually missed this year, but it's once a year. I do a tournament. So yeah,
that's actually pretty cool. So I mean, just seeing like how you play. I mean, I'm pretty sure you make it pretty far in those tournaments if you actually.
Well, I'd like to say yes, but the thing is, so the PC version and the PS4 version are completely different. And also playing offline is completely different. It feels like another game. So there's a lot of input lag, on the PS4 version that I'm not used to because, for example, like if I press the button, if I'm sitting here at my home playing the game, if I press a button for a punch, the punch comes out right like that second. And if I play the PS4 version, there's a little bit of delay there, so it comes out like maybe like a split second after. So that throws my game all off. So I usually get bodied. Yeah.
So you prefer the PC version?
Yeah. Yeah. The PC is definitely the way to go.
Oh, so that's what you do on your stream. That's the PC.
Yeah, I play on the PC version, but the cool thing is it's cross-play. So I usually play mostly with people from PS4, but I'm on my PC. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, but the game's netcode isn't that good. So usually, if you guys see a lot of lag on my stream, because it's not my internet, because I have fiber internet, so I'm good. But it's usually the netcode in the game that isn't so good. That game has a big issue with lag. So.
Dude, you so lucky that you have fiber internet. Like I'm sitting here stuck with AT&T, and
AT&T has fiber internet.
I do, but where I live like in this apartment complex, and AT&T is the only service out here, and I only have 28 download speed and 4 upload.
Oh God, how do you live?
I ask myself that question every day. Like I'm gonna
make it to today.
Like I'm supposed to make it with just only 30 download speed, but I'm already downloading games from Steam that's 2 gigabytes or 20 gigabytes. Dude, like, it takes like 6 hours.
Oh my God, it takes me like 2 minutes.
Dude, like my feelings getting hurt right now, and
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to motivate you to get fiber,
bro. I can't, they don't even offer it over here. That's the best.
Oh God, I'd move. I'm sorry.
I tried to, but the problem is like I live in Texas, and the thing is like Texas have really good services, but when me and my girlfriend was trying to move, like all these other apartments are charging way too much compared to what we're paying now. So we just like, well, I guess we're staying here for another year with the slow internet.
Well, that fiber is coming around a lot of places, so hopefully, because when I first moved here, my place didn't have it until like later on. So it's expanding.
Man, you lucky. So,
yeah.
But anyways, going back to Street Fighter, dude, I remember when I first played Street Fighter because, like, usually, back in our day when we were young in the 90s, like, they had arcades, and I think, I feel like that's when I got introduced to Street Fighter because my dad used to take me to like the arcade a lot, and dude, I used to think that Street Fighter was like, I thought the graphics on that game was so amazing just because, like, I always thought like arcade games looked so much better than like console version games. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just how my eyes saw when I was younger.
I think it's just because we grew up with it and we can relate so much to it. Because I used to play at the arcades too, and it was so much fun. And I was like, this looks so good, and it plays so well, and So I think we see it now as we're older. We see it as like this was the greatest thing ever back in the day. So it's a lot better. Yeah,
it really was. And I meant to ask you, like, when you play Street Fighter, do you mostly use like just a regular controller? 'Cause I know some people actually use like joysticks or stuff like that.
Yeah, I got it's an arcade stick. It's called the Combo
Okay.
Obsidian, and it's got Sanwa parts, which are the best like Japanese parts, I think, in my opinion. And they're really popular, so it plays really well, and that's mostly how people. It's a really popular way of playing fighting games. Some people still play on the regular controller, like an Xbox controller or a PS4 controller. That's never worked for me. So and they're a little bit more expensive, these arcade sticks. But I think it's definitely worth it if you can't, if you're having trouble with the pad, which is a controller, or the most traditional way of playing fighting games.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause I know like Xbox, for instance. I know that, just say for instance, when they came out with Killer Instinct, I was playing that game a little bit, and I feel like that's the game that's sort of similar to Street Fighter. I mean, I haven't played Street Fighter 5 at all, so I'm not really familiar with the controls, but I know like just with the combos, it revolves around like rolling the joystick or doing like just certain things to do certain combos. Am I correct?
Yeah. Well, that's all fighting games in general. So
Yeah, fighting games.
um,
Okay.
yeah. But I have never played Killer Instinct, but I know it's one of the most popular ones. Maybe not on Twitch, but as far as a fighting game, it is. Because I know I watch Maximilian Dude a lot, and he's a really popular streamer, and he loves Killer Instinct. So that's when I learned about Killer Instinct. It's not my style of playing, because I was never into I like fighting games, but I was never into the other ones like Mortal Kombat or anything like that.
Yeah.
I had Mortal Kombat 2 for the Super Nintendo, and it was cool back in the day, but it was not something I would get into competitively. Street Fighter, there's just something about Street Fighter that just gets to me.
No, dude, I agree, because I can never get into Mortal Kombat, or I had Killer Instincts for my Super Nintendo. My brother played that. Me and my brother played that a lot, but like Mortal Kombat, it was just something about Street Fighter. It was just so vibrant. I'll just put it that way. Like just the punches and attacks, and just it made you feel like you actually did something.
Yeah. Well, now this one doesn't so much. It makes me, it breaks my heart. I still love the game, but sometimes you think you got it and you don't.
Maybe because with this game, they were trying to make it look pretty realistic, I'm guessing.
This game, the game was rushed. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, Capcom, from what I read, they rushed this game. So it wasn't, I think they tried to make it for the tournament. There's this big tournament called Capcom Cup, the Pro Tour. And I think they were trying to get it out in time for that. And so they just kind of rushed it out. So that's why I think a lot of people say that this probably isn't the best Street Fighter game, because there's other ones that this had a lot more stuff, because this one didn't even have arcade mode when it first came out, and just until 2 years later, which is now, arcade mode comes out in 2 days. They finally added it. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
See, I never understood why companies rush video games for. I mean, it's just like, hey, just take your time, finish it. I mean,
yeah, and you can see it. You could tell it was rushed, because it's like I said, it doesn't. In the other ones, there was just so many more things to do, so many more combos you can do, a lot more options you had, even offline options. Like right now, the way the game is just pretty much just play it online, because there's really not much. I mean, they got a tiny little story mode and stuff, but it's nothing rewarding and nothing really worth it. So that's why everybody just plays online. So I think that's what Capcom kind of realized that they were doing, and they switched to the arcade mode. So now you can do more stuff offline, and get more costumes and get more points and stuff like that. It gives you a reason to play offline.
Wait, so I mean, why not? Is it harder for them to implement the Arcade 2 online version, or?
No, it's not that. It's just that I guess, like I said, they rushed it, so they just didn't add all the stuff that should have been in the game when it's in the initial release. So, yeah. Because most fighting games, when they come out, they have an arcade edition, and they have a lot of stuff. This game, it was just like, here are the characters, here's the game, and that's it. There's a lot of stuff wasn't like, where's arcade edition, or where's arcade mode, where's this, where are these characters? A lot of the original cast wasn't added either, so people were like a little bit of didn't like that. Yeah,
it's funny, because I remember I was doing some just research on Street Fighter 5 today. I saw it on Steam. I was like, oh, I didn't know it was on PC. And so when I was going through it, I saw the rating, it was like a 3 out of 5. I was like, wow, I wasn't expecting it to be so low. I'm guessing that's the reason why.
Yeah, and I still love it because it's Street Fighter. I'll always love Street Fighter no matter where they go. But it definitely isn't the best one that came out. because like the ones Street Fighter 4 was great. Like had so many characters, so many things you could do. But this one kind of like it just lacked a lot of content. So.
The Street Fighter 4, is that the one where like Ryu he would come and like hit the like uppercut the person, just like that slow motion?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that one you could actually have Evil Ryu in it too. Like this one just has regular Ryu in it, but Evil Ryu is a big requested character by the fans that they haven't added yet. So I guess we'll have to wait and see if they ever add him in the future.
Essentially, because this game came out in 2016. So
yeah, February 2016. Yeah.
So, had there been any? I don't know if you know. Like, had there been any word of a new one coming out this year, or what?
A new one?
Yeah, like a new Street Fighter. Is there any word of it? Because
no, Arcade Edition. That's a new edition coming out.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
So this game's coming out in seasons. So right now, Arcade Edition would be considered season 3, and it's cool because they already announced a roster for season 3, which is really cool. Sakura, which is an original character that. Well, no, not an original character, but an older character that everybody loves coming back for this one, and Sagat and Blanca. And so I think that Capcom's really been listening to the fans in this one, because season 2 was trash. It was really, 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 really disappointing. But this one, season 3 seems really promising. So we'll have to see in a couple of days how it is.
Yeah, man, you think these companies will learn? Like, hey, listen to the fans.
Yeah, it took them 2 years, and they're finally doing it.
Yeah, seriously, like. That's why I feel like I ain't trying to get off topic, but like, that's why I feel like they tend to do so well. Like their first parties, when they come out with first party games, they listen, they bring it out.
Mm-hmm.
Thing does exceptionally well in sales, and I feel like a lot of people could learn from them. Especially I don't want to talk about EA because they're not anymore right now.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people are disappointed with them.
No, man, we still are. I read that they're like the number one hated company right now among.
Oh my god! Well, at least it's not Capcom.
Yeah, at least Capcom they trying to get there.
Yeah, they're trying. But so doesn't EA make? Didn't they remake Battlefront? They make Battlefront and the Battlefield games, right?
Is it EA?
I think EA made the Battlefield games. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know.
I'm trying to think, because if that's hard for me to believe when I think about Battlefield 4, because like the EA really did make this. I have to look that up.
Yeah.
Whatever, I'll look it up later.
I'm pretty sure. We'll see if they know in your comments on your YouTube channel.
We'll see.
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if EA made Battlefield. If so, then I'd be really amazed. So like going back to Street Fighter, like how long did it take you to really start getting good at it?
Well, when I first played this game, I played on the keyboard because there's a game I played a long time ago called Street Fighter Online. It was a browser-based game, but it was real cool, and I played that on the keyboard. So that's mostly where I got my Street Fighter experience at, and I started playing this game on the keyboard, but it was so different. It was really, really bad. The first, the first month I played on the keyboard, it was so bad I couldn't win a game. And then so I was like, you know what? I'll switch to the gamepad, the controller. Mm-hmm. So I played the controller for about maybe 3-4 months, and I couldn't do it either. I was like, why am I losing so bad at this? This is really, really bad. So for the first 5 months, I was lost. I didn't win a game for maybe 5-6 months. I never won a game. I was just losing. And then I was like, okay, well, what is this thing that everybody's playing on like this? And then I looked it up, and I was like, it's an arcade stick. So I ordered me an arcade stick, and that's I played that for maybe about 3-4 weeks, and from then on, I started kind of winning matches, and it took me a little while. It took me about a year to get actually decent and kind of stay consistent with wins. Obviously, you're still going to lose, but I was actually starting to move up in my rank with the arcade stick after a year. So it's been. What was that?
I know, I was gonna say that's pretty cool. Cause you say you went to the gamepad, like you mean like a regular controller, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I had an Xbox controller.
Did you have the Pro kind that they started to offer? I think they had the Pro version where you could take off the joysticks and and replace them, make them better for fighting games? I know they did.
No, dude. I had a regular Xbox One controller. Yeah, and that was, I mean, not that for me personally, some people are like exceptional on a controller, but me personally, I just couldn't do it. It just didn't click with my style till I got the arcade stick. So from then I started winning, and it took me from February 16 until now to actually, well, maybe not till now, but like till a few months ago, like maybe 6 months ago, to actually get really good at this game, because like it takes these kind of games take an extreme amount of time to get good, and it takes a lot of dedication, because it's, I know a lot of people are like, oh, let me play Street Fighter, this game looks cool, and then for about a week they give up on it because they just lose. And it's yeah, and these fighting games are not, I wouldn't say they're noob friendly, at least not Street Fighter 5 are not like noob friendly. Most of these people that play have been playing since they were children, and since the original Street Fighter games, and so they already know all the game stuff, and I was learning, so it's already automatically hard as soon as you jump into the game.
Yeah, 'cause I remember you mentioned it on your stream, because I know like a lot of like for the viewers who's listening, a lot of people in this chat always ask them questions about how to play the game and whatnot. And it's pretty cool because you usually respond back to them like pretty fast. Like they ask you a question like, hey, how can I get better at this, or what do you recommend? And Pro, he usually come out and get them information on how to get better, which is pretty cool. And I remember like today you said that a lot of people who pick up the game, they just put it down within like weeks work, because I think
it's really easy to get discouraged, and even me, like I've contemplated like quitting this game. Like I get so fed up with, like, it's because it's really frustrating, and I would contemplate myself and be like, I love this game, but I want to have fun, and it's not fun, but just because I love this game so much. And I've invested so much time into it, because I've reached Ultra Diamond rank. Like that's the step below Master rank, which is like the last rank. It's really hard. So I was like, I put so much time into this and dedication that it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be wise to quit right now. So I would say most people quit because they just see it as a game. But like me, I see it a little bit more serious now, so I don't quit. But like for the average person, if it's casual, this probably isn't going to be the game for you, because you're probably just going to end up losing all the time. That's why they drop it. So
yeah, because like with these types of games, especially like this type of fighting game, it's nothing like Smash Bros, which is like
no,
that game is very user friendly, whereas
and you can just play that and just have fun with it. But this one's like you need skill,
Yeah. So. Like this is a game where when you press start, you go to like the combo list. Like you have to like write it down, and remember it, and try to like just like you said. I mean, it took you about 6+ months just to really like start getting good at it. And I mean, with you probably don't have to like look at a list no more. You probably just memorize the.
Yeah, I just know it. Like the trials in the game, they'll tell you. There's trials in the game where they have like 10 trials for each character, and they'll give you like a combo to do, and I could pretty much execute that pretty easily now. They just tell you the movements there, and it's okay, I do it. But some people, it takes a while to get past the first couple ones.
It's so interesting because like I noticed like when it comes to like fighting games that's like this technical, like even I'm the type of person that's like, man, like I would really have to like sit down and grind this game as much as I can, because it reminds me of I think last year my girlfriend, she bought me like that Pokemon game that came out for the Wii U. It was like it's kind of like the Street Fighter version, but it was Pokemon. I don't know if you.
Okay. No, I don't follow Wii. The last Nintendo system. The last time I followed Nintendo was back in the GameCube days.
Oh really? Oh man,
you
gotta look into the Nintendo Switch. It's actually really, really good.
Well, the only games I know on the Nintendo Switch are the Zelda game. I think is like Breath of the Wild or something like that, and then like Mario Odyssey. That's the only reason I get a Switch, just to play those games, and maybe Ultra Street Fighter 2 on there, because Ultra Street Fighter 2 came out. But it seems interesting. But the last time I knew anything about Nintendo was the GameCube, and then I got into the PC.
Yeah. I mean, PC. You can't say nothing about PC. I mean, like I got into PC around 2 years ago, but like when it comes to me, like PlayStation, PC and Nintendo like kind of like my games now. I was a huge Xbox person, but Xbox just wasn't offering the games no more. Like
not anymore. Yeah, Xbox 360 was a monster back when that generation.
Yes.
But then I think PS4 and the PC have and maybe Nintendo like dominated more over that now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't know what Xbox is doing. I personally say like Xbox should go to PC. Like, dude, like you know how big Halo would be for Steam? You could download.
yeah. And some of it has like Gears of War 4 was for the PC and it was crossplay with the Xbox and the PC version, but that didn't do so well either.
No, it didn't. So I think, in my opinion, I feel like Xbox they need to reevaluate. They need to get some first party. That's what they're lacking at because what first parties do you know of besides Halo and Gears of War? I can't.
Yeah, and like now Halo's kind of like not as big as it used to be anymore. You know?
No, not at all. So, man, I kind of lost track where I was.
No, you're good.
where I was going. Dang, what were we talking about before? Now I can't even remember. Like before I went into that rant with Nintendo Switch, because you kind of hit a nerve there a little bit. Like, hey, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I was
like this really grinds my gears.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was talking about Pokemon. So yeah, like they actually have a Pokemon game that's kind of like Street Fighter. It's crazy.
Okay,
so, and
that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't.
That's not Pokemon Go, is it?
No. Oh no.
No.
Oh,
okay.
No.
I was like, I hope you're not playing that, man.
I did play it for a little bit, but
yeah,
the way my data is set up, being with AT&T, hey, it was killing me. So
it just drained you. Drained you.
Dude, I only play it inside my house with the Wi-Fi on. Like I'm like,
oh my god, the only thing I'm catching is a bunch of rat-a-tats, man. It's a bunch of rats around my house.
I don't care about these. That's what made me install the game. I'm just getting rat-a-tats, Pidgeys.
Yeah. I was like, I'm done with it because I was really looking forward to that, and then it kind of like it wasn't as what I expected. So
yeah, they added more stuff to it, but I don't follow it anymore. I don't even play Pokemon games as much as like I used to.
Yeah, I don't. I'm good, man. I'll stick to my PC.
Yeah, same here. So okay, so going back to Pokemon again.
yeah.
So it's like basically a Pokemon game that's kind of like Street Fighter in a sense. You have to do certain input controls to do certain combos, and I feel like when it comes to like fighting games, that if it's too much information, like basically people gonna put it down because in this Pokemon game, there's times where you can only do certain attacks depending on how the stage was. I know it sounds weird, but like if the stage, if someone do a certain attack on you, the stage shifted, and then it's like, okay, now you have to use these types of controls.
Oh, so it just changes everything.
Yeah, it changes everything. Like,
wow,
it makes it harder. And I remember I was going through the tutorial, and the tutorial was so long to the point where it was like, man, I don't feel like just sitting here just trying to learn every single thing. I'd rather like just play it and just try to learn it.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's what makes people kind of give up on fighting games a lot, especially these types of fighting games. If it's too much information to consume, most people not really get into it like that.
And that's kind of with Tekken 7 why I think partially why I didn't get into it like that, because there's a huge combo set to do, like you have so many type of combos, like probably like I think maybe over 100 for each character or something like that. And I know you don't necessarily need to learn them all, but when I first picked up Tekken, I wanted to get into that just as much as Street Fighter. I was like, okay, I want to be a pro at this game like this too. But then just the thought of learning a whole nother, like a bunch of stuff like that kind of like killed it for me. Yeah. So I'd rather just play the game,
And that makes sense because the Pokemon game was called Pokemon Tekken. That's it. So.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Tekken's known for this crap.
There you go.
Yeah. There we go. Tekken has ruined our lives.
It really did.
Yeah.
But so the interesting thing is, so like going back to like Street Fighter, I know like Ryu is your main character. And I remember in today's stream you were saying you play Ryu differently from other players because you said like most people would probably like just jump and just do like just the basic type of attacks.
Yeah.
So get into that real quick.
So usually the way I play Ryu right now is mostly out of bad habits. I just when I played, when I first started playing, I learned a certain habit, and over time it's kind of changed. But a lot of things, like for example, the sweep, that was like my go-to move because I don't know, I just used it. There was some kind of instinct that did it. So a lot of people, that's why I'm kind of known for like the sweep thing in my stream, because that's like the main move that I use with that character. And most people don't use that at all. Like they have usually players, when they play a certain character, they have like this one set. Like there's difference. Sometimes you can tell who's who, but for the most part, they use this combo and they use this move at this time. For example, as an anti-air, like if someone jumps in on you, they use a certain anti-air. I don't use that anti-air. I use a different one. And people are like, why don't you use this one? It's a lot better. And it might be better, but it's just, this is the style that's worked for me. You know what I mean? And I still managed to get the job done regardless if that move set was better. You know what I mean? Because obviously I'm Ultra Diamond. I've had to have been doing something right. You know what I mean? So I that just works for me a lot more than doing it other people, because with that character does it's arguably considered the worst character in the game. So there's not a lot of options I have. So if I feel that if I play him the same as everybody else, I'm gonna get really predictable, you know. So I choose to play him a little different than most people. Yeah, so, and it's worked for me, you know.
It's really, it really has. I mean, I'm gonna sit here and vouch for him, everyone, because he be killing on the streams.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like really good. Like I be like, when I sit here and watch you, like, so I feel like if I tried to play Street Fighter and I chose a character and just try to get good with them, usually if I was to get good at a game, I need to know how other characters play as well. So I mean, like you play Ryu a lot, but you don't play any other character. Did you just learn how other characters fight just by just playing it so much? Or? Just
by going against them, like ranked in the game it really kind of like conditions you to be really good at the game, because obviously points are at stake, and so people choose their best character and on rank, because if you play casuals, people can just like play it like whatever, they don't care, but they really give it their all in ranked. So I think that's where a lot of my skill came from, just putting you straight into the gameplay of straight into hard mode pretty much. And I think it's good to play players better than you, because you get adjusted to that play style. You know what I mean? And characters better than you too, because you get accustomed to it, you get used to it, it conditions you, because as soon as that way, when you play someone that's really low rank and really new to the game, it's a lot easier. That's how you get good. So I think it's just by constantly playing on hard mode all the time, pretty much, essentially.
I like that too, because this is not like Street Fighter related, but it's relatable in the sense, like back when like the Halo days, like Halo 3, when they used to have like those ranked matches. They had it to the point to where you was ranked, you play people who's had the same type of experience as you did, and the higher your skill level was, they're the people that you played. And I mean, I remember I got to like just like major rank or something like that, but then Microsoft or Bungie at the time came across and made this update to where you pretty much just play just everyone.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, like that kind of sucks, because you can't really get good anymore. It's just more like it's like a wild card type thing. You get it.
It almost became more of a casual thing. Yeah,
it did. I'm like, dude, like, why did y'all do this? This is
And rank doesn't necessarily mean that you're good. It just, I mean, it does. It means in to a certain degree, it does mean like, okay, wow, if you're master, you have to be good to get to that rank. But a lot of people can just farm points. You know what I mean? Or make a Smurf account. They could be, if someone's, let's say, platinum rank is not as good as the diamond ranks. But they could easily have had a master rank in another account. So it's secretly a master player playing on a platinum account. That's why you usually see me get bodied by platinums, because they're probably not even really platinum. So,
dang, that's interesting. So like when it comes to rank, it's no really like big reward from it. That's just how you just rank as a player, basically.
Yeah, it's just like you obviously, like I said, if you're a certain rank, yes, it does mean you're pretty good or pretty bad, but But like I said, anybody can just like kind of like farm points or like grind them, because I could pretty much get lucky in a match and then leave and take all his points and then just give rematch to people that I can beat, and then what I mean. And eventually you start going up, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm master rank, I'm the greatest player ever, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. I mean, it does. You're good at it, but not to the degree where most people would think.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
So, because there's people that could be in the gold ranks or in the platinum ranks that are extremely good, better than a master. You know what I mean? So,
I wonder if Capcom gonna like crack down on that later on, like just with the farming thing or something. I guess it's hard. I mean, if someone lose their account, they go back down in rank, and they got just basically.
And ranked is so hard in that game because especially in the higher levels, the higher you go, the more points you lose if you lose a match. So if I win, and usually they pair you up with lower rankings. So if you get paired up with lower rankings, you don't get that many points, but they can get a lot of points. So let's say I'm like Ultra Diamond, right? And they're Platinum. If I beat a Platinum, I only get 5 points out of it. But if they beat me, they get like 200 points out of it. And I lose 200 points.
Oh, man.
So that's why it's so hard to get up there, because, you can't afford to lose a game. And it's especially with my character, it's extremely easy to lose. So you have to stay consistent with it, with the winnings and stuff. You have to have, I think, at least like a 90% win rate, win percentage,
wow,
just to get to the master rank. Which is like I'm a step below from.
So when you play people the same rank as you are, you win or lose to them, it doesn't affect you as much because
not as much. No, like I might lose like 65 points or something like that, and they might gain like about 67 or something. But if I lose anybody at that point, so if I'm at the Ultra Diamond rank, if I lose to anybody like below me, I lose 100 minus 100 or more, right? So if I play like a Super Diamond, I'm an Ultra Diamond. If I play a Super Diamond, I think the most I lose is like 91 points. If I lose to a Diamond, I lose like a little bit over 100. If I lose to Ultra Platinum, which is a step below Diamond, I lose like 130 or something like that. So I can't afford to lose any game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, watching you today, I mean, you didn't lose that many games at all. Like from what
no, today was a good day. Today was a good day. I didn't lose that many, but usually, there's these days where I go where I'm just like on a 20 lose streak.
That's why you keep going. I was like, you know what, y'all, I kind of just gotta call it.
I'm surprised I still have a head full of hair, man. Yeah.
Man, it paid off for sure, though. I mean,
it pays off. It's really rewarding when you actually win something, but man, is it hard?
Yeah. So I mean, I guess you say like just learning the game was basically just your hardest challenge during Street Fighter, like
Yeah.
That was like the biggest roadblock for you. Just trying to learn.
If I were to tell anybody getting into a fighting game like that, if you really want to and learning the game, I would first make sure you have your good weapon of choice. Whether it's a pad, an arcade stick, or keyboard, or whatever. Make sure you get that first, because that's going to be what you're playing with. You know what I mean? So if a pad isn't working for you, try an arcade stick. If that doesn't work, try a pad. Whatever works for you. And then after that, like, learn your character, and then after that, then you start learning the mechanics of the game. It's a huge process. If you really want to get really good at this game, because all the greatest players that you see, they've been playing for years and years and years. It's not a game where you can just pick up in a couple months. It's going to take to get really, really good at it. I would say it takes a few years.
It's funny because that's like going to be my next question. Like, what would you suggest to people who's interested in Street Fighting? You already answered it, so okay. So,
yeah.
To the next question. So obviously about to hit the 1 hour mark, so you're gonna start trying to like wrap it up here. So
okay.
So just watching the stream, like I really I enjoy your stream because it's just really good, and just how your chat interacts with with the games you play, and also. I like how your chat helps you find people to play against too. Like I think like today it was someone I don't know if he was trying to help you find someone to play, but I guess he was setting up the tournament for you, like the tournament that you was getting ready to do.
Yeah. The chat is very helpful, man. Very, very helpful. And
wait, hang on a second. Someone joined. Wait, hang on. I'm about to edit this out. Someone joined the.
yeah, it's Roman. Roman, get out, man.
Sorry, dude. I'm about to kick you real quick.
There you go. I don't know how he joined. Can you edit that out?
Yeah, I can edit that out.
Okay, good. Sorry, man. He does that all the time. Like, he's one of my viewers, but every time I'm like trying to be private with someone, like he always joins. I don't know how he does it.
I think what happened because in your Ask Pros questions, he was in there, and I put my link in there.
Oh, okay. You could have I should have DM'd it.
Yeah, I should have DM'd it. That's what I was gonna do first. But it's all right. But let's go. I don't know. I might leave that. I might leave that in there just for like jokes or whatever.
Just for it to be funny. God damn it, Roman dog.
So for those who don't know, we're in Discord right now. Someone joined our chat.
So, yeah.
I have to kick him. He'll be on have any hard feelings about it. He sent a message saying, "Hey, what happened?"
Hey, we'll make him famous. He got kicked out of the podcast.
Man. I like this stuff, but
yeah, where were we?
Where were we? Let's talk about your chat and people interact with you and things.
Oh yeah. No, the chat's really really awesome, man. I'm really grateful for them. I love every single one of them, dude. And I don't want to be one of those streamers where not that it's a bad thing, but that kind of just. I want me and my streamers to have a connection. That's almost partially why I have like a Discord, because it gets them more interactive with me, and I want them to. I want to be cool in my chat. You know what I mean? Not just have them as chat. Like they can feel as much part of this stream, like I said earlier, as possible. And part of that's like being really cool with them. So they're really nice to me, and they help me out. You know, they send me if I need help with anything, they'll send me maybe like a whisper link. They'll be like, hey, try this or check this guy out or here's some help, man, if you need some, whatever it is, they'll help me out. So I think that's really, really cool to have that connection with your chat.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, especially with you, because you like when they talk to you, you like, oh yeah, like hey, Pro, can you check this out real quick? You be like, yeah, dude, I'll check it out. Just remind me or something like that. And it's it's just really cool. And goodness, what else I was about to say? It was something in my mind. I can't remember. But whatever. Next question. So like, what would you suggest, like, for people just to avoid when streaming, if they like trying to like just build their audience, like just flat out avoid that you learn?
What to avoid if they're building their audience?
Yeah. I know it's probably
just I don't know. I just try to keep us positive, have fun, be with them. Just avoid all negativity, because there's going to be times in stream, for example, there's a lot of trolls that come into stream sometime, and I would avoid just like maybe letting that get to you, because it's just the internet. I've had trolls in my stream, and I don't like banning people, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You got to know how you want to have your stream. If you want your stream to be toxic, not that it's bad, but I mean, if you want it to be toxic, then fine. But that's your stream. But I don't think anybody would want that. But if it's your stream, you're the head honcho, and you're the boss. So make sure you know what you want your stream to be as, and try to support that as much as possible. And if someone kind of tries to I don't know what's the word, maybe jeopardize that or whatever, just not making it go as the way you want it to, then you probably have to set some rules or something like that. Because I don't like rules, but like for example, I set rules in my chat, like be respectful, try not to talk about politics or religion and stuff like, because that's a really touchy subject, and I don't want people to get mad at each other and stuff like that. And just to have fun, because that's what it's all about. You're playing video games and you're just talking to people. It's supposed to be fun,
Yeah, like video games. That's we play video games. We try to get away from the world. It's like, look, we had a stressful.
Yeah. It's made for fun. That's what it's made for. So, I'd say just have as much fun as possible, and not. And this goes for me too, because I get caught up and I get salty. Because you lose a lot, you're obviously gonna get salty. So,
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, just try to stay as positive and have as much fun as possible.
Yeah, and that's why I mean, like just with this podcast and just. The streampreneurs, like that's why I admire people that's just on Twitch, just trying to just play games, and if they have a vision of this, hey, this might actually go somewhere for me. Where maybe it monetizes in the future, and maybe if it doesn't, I just like the fact that they just people just out there just trying to just do something. They want to get away, playing games. That's what they love doing, or that's what we love doing.
And if you want to grow as a channel, like you got to stay consistent with it, because at first with anything that starts, it's you have to you have to give it time to grow. You know what I mean? It's sometimes, like I said, it's just the luck of the draw. Sometimes some people grow really quick and some people don't. And you shouldn't compare yourself to us because you're unique to your own thing. No one will ever be, Hylian, or no one will ever be Protunic. Like you're unique in your own way. And that's what makes you special, and just grow off that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And eventually people, like, if you stick to what you want to do, eventually people will come by. It has no choice. If you stay consistent with something, it has, like I said, it has no choice but to grow, you know? So,
yeah. Like from one of the things I know is, like, if you, just say if you're playing a video game where you're like really passionate about, like, that's how people really start following you. Like for you, for instance, Street Fighter, you stuck with it, you grinded out, people saw, probably how you was back in 2016 and now, like, they saw how you grow, they saw how you got better at the game, and
it's cool. It's really cool how because I've had viewers that have been there since the beginning, and it's almost like your own diary, like your own vlog. People see the growth, and they're there with you along the way to see that growth, and I think it's pretty cool. That means a lot to to me, and I think it means a lot to people that are broadcasting as well, that you have dedicated viewers like that, because it's a real cool thing that when you're doing something that you love and people appreciate you for it,
Yeah, for sure. And like even today, like when I was watching you, this is probably like from the 3 weeks I have been watching you, like the highest you got like 165 viewers today, which was like it's really good, and a lot of people consider that a big like milestone, especially those who just starting off and they finally hit like 100 viewers. That's like, I mean, I don't know what was the highest max that you probably reached, but I mean, it's like, just with that, like, how do you, basically gonna be the last question, like, how do you plan on working this in the future? Like, are there any other games that you want to play in the future, or how do you continue just to improve your audience with the content that you're providing?
Well, me, the way I am, I'm always constantly, I don't stay stagnant. Like I always try to find ways to be the very best I can. When I started, I wanted to do like the best audio I could, the best looking stream I could. And so I want always to grow, you know what I mean? Eventually I do want it to where I'm maybe playing other games and stuff like that. But I think right now I just want to be the best, like, player I can with this and grow, because eventually I want to get partnered on Twitch. I'm affiliated right now.
Really?
But I do want to get partnered and be like the next Man versus Game, the next Maximilian dude. And that's my dream. Like this Twitch and streaming, making videos and stuff like that is my dream. That's my passion. And I would do, like, I would try the very best I could possibly, give it my all to make it the best possible streamer I can be and the best possible stream I can provide, and just keep growing off that.
Yeah, and I like that. I mean, just the passion that you have behind that, I feel like that's what's going to put you over the top. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I thought you was partnering with Twitch. I really thought you was. And
no, I wish. I still got a little bit. I do see myself getting partnered. Like I know what's going to happen. Like, I can feel it. But I think right now, just keep doing what I'm doing and focus and trying to make it the best stream I can and grow.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, like Twitch, they look for consistency. Like they look at, for what I know, they look at your views. They see how often you stream, and if you stay steady, then eventually they probably will like just reach out to you and finally, hey, want to partner you. And I think you're close, man. I really do think you're really close. And and like for those who's like listening, if you want to play Protunic, he does offer requests. So if you come to his chat, if you're interested in Street Fighter, he'll definitely challenge you. Or
I play anyone, man. Like if they say you want to play me, I would never say no.
So. Just hey,
I'm always down for the challenge.
I need to be prepared because he doesn't go easy on you. He really don't.
No.
You're gonna play to the end.
Teach them.
So basically, just to wrap this up, like, just if you want to give everyone like your schedule time, like, what time you stream and social media. I do stream I stream 5 days a week. All my stuff is on twitch.tv /Protunic. So I stream at night times on the 7:30 to, I say 10:30, but I usually sometimes go a little bit more than that. I start 7:30 CST. I'm on CST time Monday, Thursday, Fridays, and then 1 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So
CST time. Yeah.
And what's the best way for people to get in contact with you? I guess it'd be Discord, basically, right?
Yeah, I got Discord. My Discord information's on my, or all the information's on my Twitch profile page. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Protune TV, and yeah, Twitch. And I also got IG, but all that stuff's on my profile page on twitch.tv/Protunic. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And for those on my podcast, I have all the links in my description. So, is it cool that I put your Discord link as well there? So,
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. That'd be cool.
So anyone who's interested in joining his Discord, I have all the information there, his schedule time. So just, be sure to check out his channel. It's really awesome. I mean, he will interact with you as best ways he can. And his chat is amazing. And it's just a really family oriented community. So
yeah, that's my mission, man, to make it as best entertaining as possible. So I think they like it.
No, they definitely will, man. When I first came to your page, I was like, oh, yeah, I gotta find a way to interview this dude because this is.
I'm really honored, man. I'm really honored. It's really cool that you wanted to interview me. So I'm really glad about that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to have this up by today. So hopefully, you can hear it. So I'm gonna try to. But
yeah, that's cool.
But thanks again, Protunic, for coming out and sharing your knowledge on us. I'm pretty sure a lot of people really enjoy this podcast. And the cool thing is I'm about to make this go live, so it's gonna be like on Google, iTunes. Hopefully this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
So it's gonna be pretty dank. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Awesome, man. That was awesome. You're awesome interviewer, I guess. That was cool, man. Yeah.
Still got lots to learn, but I'm getting there, dude.
Yeah, man. I like it.
So everyone, that's that's Streampreneurs episode number 3. We're out. Thanks again for tuning in, for coming out here, man.
No problem, man. It's an honor.
So that's the Streampreneur Podcast episode number 3. Please hit the subscribe button on my YouTube channel. It definitely helps out a lot. I really want to, get my podcast out there and reach out to many people as possible. Also go to my Facebook page and like that as well. There you can find latest updates on upcoming podcast episodes. And also follow me on Twitter if you want to keep up with me as well. Again, thank you for tuning in, everyone, and have a good one.